For this episode, we're going to look at how to be prepared to deal with problems as your live band recording session gets underway. But first we'll look at the option of using an ambient mic in the room. Now we've mic'd the guitars and drums, if there's any inputs left in your interface, it's worth adding a well-placed condenser mic or two to capture the dynamic of the music in the room and add an extra dimension to your sound. Try positioning one condenser in the centre of the room if you can, to capture the overall sound of the band playing live together. Experiment with the positioning of this mic. For example, you might want to move it further away from the centre to capture reflections from the back wall. It really helps if you can have a separate person in addition to the band to take on the role of an engineer. They can monitor the sound, adjust the levels, stop and start the recording, and be an extra set of ears for opinions. They can also raise problems that the band may not have spotted. It will help all the band members focus on their performances. Some of the most common problems any band can encounter when playing live are faulty cables, electrical current, and feedback problems. You can quickly fix any issues you may encounter with cables by bringing plenty of spares. Use methodical trial and error to isolate any problems with pedals, or use a cable tester to diagnose where a problem with a signal may be occurring. It can often be something as small as a patch cable between two pedals that's affecting your whole signal chain. Also, make sure you bring spare strings. It can often be overlooked, but imagine if the whole band's recording session is jeopardised by a guitar's broken E string. It helps to treat this recording session like you would a normal gig in many ways, so bring your gaffa tape or any other handy gear for quick fixes. Acoustic guitars can often cause feedback problems when playing live. Though this issue is more likely when using PA monitors, it can still occur if you are playing close to mics and if you decide to use a DI'd acoustic amp in front of you as a monitor while playing. A cheap solution is a feedback buster, a rubber blocker that's installed in the acoustic sound hole, helping to minimise the effects of feedback from the guitar itself. Before you start, there may be parts like solos and leads that you want to get absolutely right. It's advisable to play live as much as possible for efficiency and to capture dynamics. But you may feel that it will actually make for a better overall band recording if you take some of that pressure off for this session for a few choice parts. We'll also be looking at how you can enhance some songs' parts using Cubase 8 plugins via overdubs in a future episode. During the performance, if you know a mistake has been made that will be noticeable on the track, stop the band playing and start the song again. There's no quick fixes in editing out significant errors in this situation, so it saves time in the long run to know when to stop. However, while you're playing, remember not to be too fixated on clinical perfection. There's a little give and take in a live performance, and it can add personality to your recording that you may not have had with a traditional tracking approach in a studio. Then, once you've finished playing, take the time as a band to properly review your recording with the engineer before deciding whether you have a keeper or not.